So hi guys, this is Temi Vlogs. Welcome back to my channel. So for the last post that I made concerning how to relocate to Germany with a family reunion visa, especially for students, I got some messages, and I was able to reply everybody. Yes, I was able to reply everybody, and then I even added 1 or 2% to the group. But the thing is, on YouTube, I'm not sure I can, I'm not sure I can put my phone number to add people to the group. So I just directed you, if you want to join a group for family reunion visa, just reach out to me on um my TikTok account. My TikTok account is Temi Vlog. Yes, Temi Vlog, or I'm not sure. I'm missing up my TikTok with Facebook always. Temi.ar. I'm going to check the proper one and paste it on this video. So just reach out to me there. Follow my page first, then, because I'm not sure if you did not follow, you won't be able to send the message. So follow and just drop me a message. I want to join the reunion group. And note, you must have booked your appointment. If you have not booked appointment, don't even just bother, because they will not add you to the group. Yes, I'm one of the admin of the group, but I'm not the founder. So the rule is that the person must have booked before you can join the group. That's all. So guys, let's talk about interview questions. That is the main purpose of this video. So are you going for your interviews for the family reunion and you don't know what questions to expect? Yes, there are questions, and the questions varies, but I think they have a format of questions that they ask almost all the spouses for interviews. So guys, I know how tiring it is, I know how stressful it is, waiting period, the long rides and everything, but make sure that you're fully prepared, because what's the essence of waiting so long and you are not prepared fully for the interview? You have to be prepared. And one thing is, be confident. When you are with the interview, the interviewer is a person, the visa officer is a human being just like you, so you have to be confident. So they don't read your body language and think maybe you're lying or you're trying to pretend or something else. You must be confident. So I have a list of questions here that these are questions that I prepared, and luckily for me, when I went for interview, most of it came out. You can see the ones that I marked with pen, those are the ones that came out, and in fact almost all of them came out. So I was really prepared for my interview. Don't leave any story or any question unanswered. And one trick about it is that if they ask you a question and you do not know the question, just tell them you don't remember, rather than giving a false question, because there are some questions that they are going to repeat. They might ask you a question 4 times, 5 times. They want to be sure that the first answer you gave them in the first place is the same thing with the one you are giving after. I hope you understand. Like they might ask you, what is your spouse date of birth? 4 times. They ask you first, ask you other questions, then ask you later. They do like that. So you have to make sure that whatever you're giving them is correct information. You have to know a lot about your spouse, because the question is mainly about your spouse and how you people met. So it's not even about you, it's mainly about your spouse. So you have to know a lot of things about your spouse. So I'm going to be listing the questions that I was asked during my own, and questions that people have asked. This question is based on survey. You know what I mean by survey is different people that have been to interview. These are questions they have been asked. Except if your spouse is German, I might not really know what they will ask you. If you're a German spouse, especially a white person, maybe not. But for students, listen attentively. This is for you. Yes. Okay, so guys, let's go. The first thing, you have to arrive at the embassy very early. Though they are going to give you a time on your email when they send you an email for the interview. So, and they'll give you like 3 weeks to 1 month to prepare. So let's say this is January, and they send you a mail that your interview is next month. So they might give you 3 weeks to a month. Mine was I think they gave me 26 days to prepare. So I had a lot of time to prepare for my interview. So first thing first is get there very early. Neatly arrange your documents. Print out the checklist if possible. Arrange your document according to the checklist. When you get there, I think now they collect cash for the visa fee. If your spouse is a student or another category, you have to pay your visa fee. But if your spouse is not, if your spouse is German or has the citizenship, that means you are not going to be paid. You are not going to pay for the visa fee. So either you go with 1,000 cash or you go with your ATM card. Yeah, I went with 2 ATM cards. In case one fuck up, the other will not fuck up. So I went with 2. Get there very early. Have confidence. Once you've been told to get in, go there. Just pray to God, and then be confident when you enter when you get to the visa officer. So the question that was, let us go straight inside the question. I was asked, what is the name of your spouse? So when I got inside, after pleasantries, yeah, sure. So they're going to ask you, what the visa officer will collect your document, check everything, print, you make payments, print whatever you need to print and everything. Then they will ask you the question, what is the name of your spouse? The date of birth of your spouse. Some people say they asked them the favorite food of their spouse and favorite color, which I was not asked. So note that. Shoe size of your spouse. Some people say they asked them, but I was not asked. The name. My husband is a student, as you all know. So they asked me the name of his school, the course that he's doing. knows that the name of his school and the course that he's doing, the city in which, let me just go according to, then his phone number, his international phone number, you have to know it off head. So they asked me his phone number, they asked me his address, where he's staying. If your husband is staying, they'll say it doesn't matter, just give them the address. So where he works, they will ask you. Even though as a student, you know, the students are allowed to work for 20 hours per week. So obviously they know that your husband is working. But if your husband is on scholarship, it's different thing. They will not ask you. But if your husband is working, they ask you where he's working and spell the name of the company. Guys, it's not a small thing. You have to spell the name of your husband's company. If it's a Dutch, if the name is in Dutch, you have to learn how to spell it and pronounce it. Your husband should teach you that. Then what is he working as? You know, what is his post in the company that is working, or what does he do in the company? You have to do that one. How long has your husband been in Germany? You have to know how long. How much he earns? You have to know how much he earns, whether yearly or monthly, before tax or after tax. It doesn't matter. Anyone that you know. Me, I just told them I don't know yearly, but I know monthly and after tax. So I gave them that. You have to know. This one, there's nothing like my spouse is not telling me. Make sure you ask your spouse. They ask almost everybody. Make sure you have your spouse. Ask your spouse before you go for the interview how much he earns. The day you did your court, the day you did your wedding, either the court wedding, if it's not the same day, the engagement, if it's not the same day, they ask for the date, and where you did it, you get. And they ask you the last time that you saw your husband, when and where. That was how they asked me. When and where was the last time you saw him? So me, I told him when he came in, the last time he came in to see me, and the date he left, and the last place I saw him was at the airport when he was leaving. So know what to tell them. If the same, yeah. And you know you have to go with exit and entry stamp on his visa when he last came to the country to visit you, or maybe you guys met somewhere else. If maybe you went on a vacation in another country, just go with the entry stamp of yours and him. Then you tell them when last you met, you saw him, where he was born. They will ask you when you started dating. They ask you when did you start dating. You know, sometimes some of us are not going to date. If you know, fine. If you don't know, just tell them roughly the year. If you don't know the exact date, but the year, tell them. How long did you date? How long did you date before you guys propose or talk about marriage? So you tell them. They will ask you how long have you been married. You know, be married for a year, 2 years, 3 years. They will ask you, and how did you propose? She will just tell us your love story. So the love story means how you started dating, how you met him. Maybe you were passing on the street and then he saw you, hey, it's fine girl, I like you. Or you met on internet. You have to explain how you met, how you proposed to you. Okay, we're home, this and that. And if he did not propose to you, maybe, you know, it's not a relationship that he will say, oh yeah, take ring. I'm surprised they'll propose to you. Just tell them how it is. We didn't propose. Me, I told them there was not like a ring or a proposal. We just, when we started dating, we knew we want to be together. You understand? And when it was right time, babe, are you ready to get married? That was our proposal. So I told them that the email address of your spouse, they asked me. So you must know your spouse email address. Is if he calls you pet name or you call him pet name, what you call each other, they will ask you. Not compulsory. What semester he is. My husband is a student. They asked me the course, remember the name of the school and what semester he is. They will ask you about his former qualification, which school he went to before, what course he was doing before. They will ask you for the day that you did your wedding. Yes. Did you meet his parents, or when did you meet his parents? Your first, they asked me when he comes to the country, which fun places do you always, or where did you guys always go together? So if it's beach, you used to go. If it's restaurant, if it's cinema, tell them. They asked me if he has siblings. They asked me how many siblings my husband has. They asked me the age difference between the both of us. They asked me where are the places you both visited for fun. I said it. How much? They are now asking me how much my husband sent to me for allowance, for upkeep. You are dating somebody, obviously. Married to somebody, obviously. The person should be caring for you. That is what they believe. So they ask you how much you're collecting, maybe monthly or quarterly. I don't know. They ask you how much he sends to you. They ask me how much my husband sends to me. And she also asked me how much am I also using to take care of myself. If you're working, if you're self-employed, doesn't matter. They also ask you how much are you using to take care of yourself. How much are you earning? They asked me how much my husband is sending to me. Then they asked, was he married before? They asked this question like so many times. His date of birth, they asked like so many times. The date you got married, they asked so many times. Was he married before? They will ask you. If your husband is married before, they will tell you they will ask you how many children he has based on other people's information, how many children he has before, how many years was he married for, this and that. All those questions concerning his former marriage, you have to know it, because you definitely have to go with his the former wedding certificates. Was he married before? Was I married before? They asked me to. Does he have kids before? They will ask you. Then the love story. Do you stay alone? They asked me after my husband left, am I staying alone or am I staying with my parents? So they will ask you that. I'm not sure, it doesn't really. Some questions are just, I don't know. It's not like if you say you are staying with your parents, they will say no, they won't give you visa. But they ask me, does he have any relative? Do I have any relative in Germany? I say no. How did he propose? I've told you before. Do you live together before the marriage or after the marriage only? They'll ask you. Do you guys stay together after marriage? They ask you. How often do you talk and how? They ask me. You are doing long distance relationship. How often do you communicate and how do you communicate? So I told them we do every day. We chat every day and we do video calls every day on WhatsApp, because there have been cases of some people that they told them to bring their WhatsApp chats. So if you are saying WhatsApp, make sure that you have backing. Whatever you're saying, make sure you have backings for it. You are not allowed to go with your phone, definitely inside. But when they ask you for it, that means they want you. They will tell you to send a copy, print it out, and send it. So I told them we chat every day and we do video call every day, and they didn't ask me to bring proof of it. How did you prove? Okay, we talked about that one. That was mainly everything. Yes, that was all I was asked. Then they just have to do some repetition. Sorry, they have to do. So if you have children, they don't really ask children questions, especially if the children are still very, very young. But lastly, if it's children that is like 10 years, they're just like, what's your name? Where is your daddy? You get? It's not like they will ask them so many questions, but these are questions that I'm asked based on the spouse of the student, and based on most everybody asks them this question, what your spouse does, how much he earns, where is he staying, are you staying alone, have you guys stayed together, when last did you visit each other? They just want to know that you both are connected and you are not lying. You have to go with old pictures. If you had old pictures, good for you, that you took before you traveled or when you start dating. It doesn't matter, because you know that you can date somebody for 1 month and the second month you guys got married. Probably if it's long distance relationship, maybe you guys met online. You might not have old pictures. Just any picture that you took together, then just bring it. Any picture that you took together apart from the marriage ones, just go with it. So yes, how you guys met, that's all. Just in all, be truthful, be confident, and make sure that any question that you don't remember, just say I don't remember, rather than give them the wrong answer so that they won't ask you again and you now go and say another thing. I hope you understand. So that will be end for this video. Please guys, follow my page once this video is beneficial to you or you find it interesting. Please follow my page, like, subscribe. And one thing you should know, if you do not do your interview very well, they might call for a second interview, which is mostly, I think, for spouses that their age difference is so long. Yes, they always call for second interview, and the second interview is you at the same time with your husband in Germany at the same time as his own city office, and they are going to be asking you both same questions. So we need to avoid that. Make sure that you study what you're supposed to go with. And if you want to join the group, as I said, I will put the link on my on the screen of this video, my TikTok page, so that you can search for me. I do cooking vlogs and everything, lifestyle. So you can just send me a message then, so I can add you to the WhatsApp group. So that is all. Please, I wish you all the best. I wish you success. If you're preparing for your interview right now, just believe that everything is fine, because it's not so hard. Once you know these things, you're just going to get there, and within 10-15 minutes you're done. You guys. And I know how tiring all the stress and how anxious you're going to be for the interview, that if you're preparing for exam. But trust me, with this you don't even need to stress yourself, because thank God I knew all these things before I went for my interview. If not, I'll also have been anxious as you guys are. You guys, so thank you so much for watching. See you again in my next video. So I'm going to make probably another video. I already talked about the checklist on how you can relocate with a student visa. That will be with my husband, because he's one that went through the process. He's going to come here when he has time. Okay guys, and whether you need A1 or not, just start studying, because once you get here, you still need to do these things. Okay, bye guys.